Loyalty is an incredibly rare, almost extinct currency in the modern corporate world. My name is Sarah, and I proudly gave a full decade of my life, my youth, and my absolute dedication to building Miller Logistics, literally from the ground up. But one ordinary, freezing Monday morning, my longtime boss, Mr. Miller, handed me a cold, unexpected pink slip. It wasn't because of my performance. In fact, I was the undisputed top earner and the backbone of the entire firm. No, it was simply because he wanted his deeply entitled, arrogant son, Leo, to take over my desk and my title. They foolishly thought I would just cry, pack up my things, and walk away quietly into the shadows. They didn't realize that I wasn't just another replaceable employee in their corporate machine. I was the actual engine that kept everything running. And when the engine abruptly leaves, the car completely stops moving. Today on Chronicles, I will show you exactly how I turned a humiliating firing into the ultimate corporate takeover. The backstory, the office politics. I initially joined Miller Logistics when we were just a tiny, struggling team of 5 people working out of a damp, rented basement. In those early years, I treated Mr. Miller not just as a boss, but as a true mentor, and I genuinely believed he saw me as a daughter he was proud of. I routinely worked brutal, grueling 80-hour weeks, single-handedly secured our absolute biggest logistics contracts, and successfully expanded our corporate reach across 3 entire states. Then came Leo. Leo was the absolute textbook definition of an entitled, spoiled brat. He would routinely show up to the office at noon, spend thousands of dollars of company money on lavish luxury lunches, and treat the hardworking staff like his personal servants. The moment Leo lazily graduated from college, Mr. Miller decided his golden boy suddenly needed a grand executive title. Specifically, my title. In a brief, cold 5-minute meeting, Mr. Miller looked me dead in the eye and said, "Sarah, you've done enough for us. It's time for some fresh, new blood around here. Leo will be officially taking over as the new director of operations." I was utterly devastated. I was handed a pathetic 2 weeks of severance pay in exchange for 10 long years of absolute loyalty. As I slowly walked out of the building clutching my cardboard box, Leo laughed out loud and told me to have a nice life. Oh, I fully intended to. The turning point, the calls start coming. 2 agonizing months passed, and then my phone suddenly started ringing completely off the hook. It was our most loyal, long-term clients. Mr. Henderson, a man who personally held our massive $1 million account, called me absolutely fuming with rage. "Sarah," he barked over the line, "this new Leo kid is an absolute operational disaster. He has already missed 3 critical international shipments, and now he's completely ghosting my phone calls." I realized at that exact moment that Mr. Miller's blind parental ego had completely blinded his business sense. He had willingly sacrificed his own life's legacy just to feed his son's pathetic vanity. That very night, I officially stopped crying, wiped my tears, and started planning my move. I liquidated my entire life savings, drew up a flawless business proposal, and reached out to a selective group of high-profile private investors who knew my immaculate track record. Within 3 short weeks, Apex Solutions was officially born. My mission from that day forward wasn't just to survive in the industry. It was to show Mr. Miller exactly what he had thrown away in the trash. The master plan, the exodus. The beauty of my plan was that I didn't even have to actively steal any clients. I simply had to offer them the basic level of professionalism and respect they weren't getting from Miller Logistics anymore. One by one, Miller Logistics, absolute biggest and most lucrative accounts, packed up and moved over to Apex Solutions. I also quietly hired the very best, most experienced staff members who had recently quit Miller's office because of Leo's toxic, unbearable behavior. Predictably, it didn't take long for Mr. Miller to call me, screaming down the phone line so loud the speaker shook. "Sarah, you're a backstabbing traitor. I will sue you for absolutely everything you own." I stayed completely calm, my voice like ice. "Mr. Miller," I said smoothly, "corporate clients are not your personal property. They go exactly where they are respected and valued. You explicitly chose family over business. I chose excellence. Let's see who wins in the end." By month 6, Miller Logistics was bleeding millions of dollars in losses. And to make matters worse, Leo was caught red-handed using company funds to charter a private jet for a weekend getaway. The bank was rapidly closing in on them. The final showdown, the auction. Exactly 6 months later, Miller Logistics officially collapsed into foreclosure. All of their corporate assets, vehicles, and properties were being auctioned off at a public government hearing. I walked into that crowded auction room wearing the most expensive, tailored power suit I owned. Mr. Miller and Leo were already sitting in the front row, looking absolutely broken, defeated, and pale. Leo didn't have his smug, arrogant smile anymore. When the bidding started, I ruthlessly outbid every single investor in the room. I bought the entire commercial building, the fleet of delivery trucks, and the very executive desk I used to sit at. After the legal papers were officially signed, I calmly walked up to the two men. I handed Mr. Miller my new glossy business card. "Your old building is now the official global headquarters of Apex Solutions," I said with a smile. Then, I turned my gaze to Leo, who was staring at the floor. "We're currently looking for a night shift warehouse janitor. If you're actually willing to roll up your sleeves and work for once in your life, the application is live on our website." They both stood there in stunned, heavy silence as I turned on my heels and walked out. Karma isn't a bitch, it's a perfect mirror. The lesson in CTA, outro. True success is always the absolute best form of revenge. When someone maliciously tries to dim your brilliant light just to make their own dim star shine a little bit brighter, they almost always end up trapped in the dark. Fire Call 2 Actions CTA Fire. If you enjoyed watching Sarah's incredible journey from getting fired to executing the ultimate corporate takeover, do not leave without showing some love. Smash that like button right now and hit subscribe to Karma Chronicles. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our weekly doses of sweet, satisfying justice. Drop a comment below. What would you have done if you were in Sarah's shoes? Until next time, stay strong,